Hello, welcome to another episode of the Fear the Soul podcast. I want to keep this one short, but it's been one that I've been thinking about and wanted to talk about for a while. Flow, not force. Okay, here it is.
You're listening to the Feed the Soul podcast. We're talking about tackling tough stuff, chasing dreams, and figuring out who we really are. Each episode ends with a word of advice or encouragement, a nugget of inspiration to empower you to dream big and take that leap of faith into the wild adventure of life.
Okay, have you ever had that moment where you're doing all the right things, but the outcome isn't what you desired or anticipated? There's some movie that I cannot think of what it is. And I think there's several movies like this, but the guy, goes into his boss's office and the boss is like, you know what, Johnny Rose, you keep this up. We're going to make you partner. And Johnny Rose gets so excited. He's like, yeah, he runs home. He's like, yo, wife, they're about to make me partner. And then they go shopping and he buys all these new clothes because it's got to be partner. And I think he even bought a new house or something. And I'm sure there's several movies like this, but there's all of this just excitement about becoming partner in this new promotion because it's going to be more money and all this stuff. And then it never comes, never becomes partner. They give it to someone else. And you're like, I thought, yo, boss, I thought this was mine. Yeah, we just someone else. So now you have all these clothes. You bought this new house, all this stuff. And you've been working your butt off. Forcing something to happen that you don't have control of, don't have control over. Forcing, doing everything in your power to make something happen. We live in a culture where working harder is rewarded, but only to have no true outcome or no true control of the outcome. Work hard, work hard, work hard. If you need to work over hours or extra hours, go for it. Some people aren't getting paid for that. Some are. If you are, bless up. If you aren't, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You do you. But we end up developing these sleep disorders because we're working overtime. We're addicted to caffeine because we're staying up late and not getting enough sleep. So now we have to drink caffeine to try to keep us awake. And now we have this endless cycle as well. Even when you aren't working, now it's the weekend and you want to be sleeping in, you can't because you're still hyped up on caffeine. And then eventually, caffeine doesn't really work for you anyway. So you're just drinking it and convincing yourself that it does. That's a whole nother thing. I just went down a whole rabbit hole with that one. But, I've had those moments. You're feeling like you're running. You're running, but you're running in place. You're exhausted. You're swimming against the current. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're just waiting, praying for the weekend to get here. Friday gets here, you finally find that branch you can just hold on to for Saturday and for Sunday, and just to catch your breath on that branch and hold on for dear life. Just so Monday you can get back in the current and swim and swim and swim. Exhausting. It's so exhausting. Why? Why do we have this? Why is it like this? Well, it doesn't have to be. At some point in my last few years, I would say the last 5 years, 6 years, I found my passion. I found my purpose. And that was a game changer. Purpose in health and wellness, purpose in service, purpose in community service. All of that still comes around and stems to health and wellness. Things started to flow. Work wasn't feeling so overwhelming. Work wasn't feeling exhausting. There was times where you wake up in the middle of the night waiting for your alarm clock to go off so that you can go to work. You know, there's the quote that when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. Sure. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like purpose. It feels like your norm, your everyday. Now, I can definitely get behind that. Flow is when you know your passion, you know your purpose in life, and your actions go without friction. They go without force. Your skills are flowing organically and subtly, and the flow becomes intelligent. You're moving intuitively, if you will, and many problems solve themselves. This does sound a little too good to be true, and some days it was, because there are challenges every day. When your life is looking good and your life is looking fresh and everything is going to plan, whether that's your plan or not, it looks good. You are at work, you are smiling, you are walking on clouds. You said, oh no, thank you, I don't need any coffee today, I'll just have my tea. Life is good. People don't like that. People don't like to see you happy and going with the flow while they are forcing and swimming against the current. And so when they see that, when you seem happy and you're moving through life gracefully, slowly, and in the moment, people notice that and they go, why aren't you working harder? It seems like you need another project to do. They're hating what you're doing. Maybe I'm in flow and I will not let you disrupt that. Right? When you are in flow, when you are feeling good, you are at peace, baby, nothing can disrupt that. But sometimes we figure out that we are back in that force. We're back in forcing things to happen. And we're forcing things to work, whether that's with coworkers. Maybe that's in your personal life. You're forcing a relationship to work, whether that's intimately or friendship. And those you'll know what that force looks like as well. You're trying to hold on to this relationship with a friend that you had in grade school, but you're realizing that you've outgrown each other. And so it's kind of like pulling teeth to have a conversation that makes sense to both of you. Where there's this conversation, you go, what are you even saying? Are we still talking like that? Are we still doing that? If there's growth, let there be growth and move on. I'm gonna leave that there. That's just something you to think about. Forcing versus flowing in your relationships. We have an opportunity to make things work in our lives. We don't control our blood flow. We don't control the time of day or when the sun sets. We don't control what grade we get on this paper that we just wrote or the flow of traffic. But what we can control is how we respond, how we react, how we approach situations. And so that I wanted to keep this episode pretty short. So just moving into the dessert and leaving some tips here. Try to live in the present moment. There are pros to planning for your future. There are pros to, obviously saving money if you want to buy a house. That's very strategic. It's very practical. There's these desires that you want in life that you do need to plan for. But there are things, like I mentioned, that you can't. When a promotion comes, when, you become partner, there's like that we can't control. And you have the option to continue to work hard to swim against the stream, or you can work in flow. Not only letting your work speak for itself, but letting your passion speak for itself. Letting how you show up in that space and the energy that you give in that space. Let that show up for you as well. Take control of what you can take control of. Your breath, living in the moment, and I promise, also doing nothing also makes sense. Rest. Go against the grain and rest. Use your vacation days. So you're not just swimming against the current on Saturday and Sunday. Take that branch and rest on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I mean, because honestly, some of these companies, they want you to take those vacation days so you can really rest wholly and wholefully so that you can come back to work so ready to go and to keep swimming against the current. Unfortunately. But fortunately, some of you have and work with companies that allow unlimited vacation like they do overseas. I once worked for a job like that, and it was amazing. And to have a supervisor that says, please use it. Yes, only 2 people can be gone at one time because of how small our staff was, but go. I was also working from home, so I didn't really have to take vacation, but I can just work on vacation. Manifest that again. Flow. Back to what we're talking about. For the final sip, embrace the outcome, forget the result. Embrace the outcome, forget the results, be present, and let go. Embrace the outcome, forget the results, be present, and let go. Thank you for listening, watching another episode of the Feed the Soul podcast. 19 episodes in. Wow. That's embrace the outcome, forgetting the results, being present, sticking with it, flowing with it. Here we are 18 episodes later. 19 episodes later. Wow. Thank you. If you can think of a movie, put in the comments either, on the Instagram page when I post this or on the YouTube channel. What movie am I thinking of the guy who was going to get partner but doesn't? Okay, I'll catch you in the next episode, the final episode of the season. Wow. Thank you. I'll see you then.